All right. As Mark said, we're going to carry on just as we did at VoiceCon in San Francisco, and we're going to talk about how the integration of social media into your business applications can enhance your productivity. We started by putting the unified communications application in the Amazon cloud, as Mark said. Then we took advantage of the open APIs that are provided by applications like Twitter, and we did a mashup of the two applications, and that's what we demonstrated in San Francisco. Well, we've continued on with these efforts, and now we've added the real-time communication information that you can get from Twitter. We've also added the contact information from LinkedIn and the location information provided by Google Latitude. And we can take that beyond just the unified communications application and into our contact center. As our customer just alluded to, all of the real-time information that you can gather from the Twitter sphere is highly useful to your contact center agents. What does a business really need to know about what's going on in the world? They need to know if their customers are satisfied, and they need to know what the public perception is of their goods and services. So as you can see on my screen, I have a typical agent desktop bar. I'm sure they all pretty much look the same. All of the typical functions, the queuing functions and information. But what we've added is what we call our social pad. And you can see here that I actually have a tweet, not a twit, but a tweet. And this tweet came into my agent desktop because of a couple of keywords and phrases. These keywords and phrases, of course, are configurable for your business. And we actively monitor the Twitter sphere looking for these keywords and phrases. And then these tweets are sent into queues, just like emails and voicemails are in a contact center. And they're routed to the agent with the best skills to respond to these particular tweets. Now, I have one here from Greg at OUC. Love Florida, looking out on the stage, look how bright it is out there. I wish I had some cool shades. So cool and shades were the two words that we keyed in on. I can continue to follow Greg. I could retweet this out to a number of other people, forward it on to another agent, requeue it, I could reject it, and I have a number of options that I can deal with. I also have some useful information about the person who sent the tweet. I know how many followers he has, and I know how many people are following him. And that gives me a pretty good indication of how influential this person is in the Twitter world and how I should respond to his tweet. I also have some interesting functionality at the bottom of the page. If you look at the from, I can send him a response back from a general company Twitter. I can also use the support and service center or send him something personal. So we'll respond from the support center. We can create pre-configured replies just as you would with email in a contact center, give them some positive feedback, direct them to our website, perhaps to a particular page. We could send him updated product information about upgrades, new models, and things of that sort. So we'll just send him a quick little tweet. Looking into it. Be back to you soon. All right. So, as in many instances in a contact center, the agent may need some support in helping resolve this customer issue. So bringing up my OpenScape Unified Communications client, we went over this in VoiceCon San Diego, but across the top of my screen, my web client, I have, now I refreshed it. I have the ability to make calls, hang up calls, do directory lookups. I have different statuses that I can change, available, do not disturb. I have a number of devices that I can configure. I publish one number to the outside world, but I can set a preferred device and the application will route and make calls from that device, presenting only my external number to everybody else. The contact list on the left-hand side gives me status information about the people that I am in contact with. And we have a number of icons over here on the right that are configurable. I have a handset to tell me if they're available to call. I could have a chat button. You can see the icon for Google Latitude. That gives me information about locations. And I have a LinkedIn button if I want more information about this contact taken from their LinkedIn profile. The conference portal lists the conferences that I have. I can initiate and make conferences from that side. We showed you the Twitter portal when we were in San Francisco. And again, this gives me the ability to use a couple of applications from a single user interface. So I don't have to toggle back and forth between Twitter and OpenScape. I get my latest tweets. You can see I've Frank's been quite busy during the conference here, so there's quite a few of those in here. And now the latest portal that we have added to this, well, everybody's been busy tweeting, is the Google Latitude. And that shows my location, and I can do a number of interesting things which we'll get to in just a minute. So I need to find some executive sponsorship to help me solve the problem for Greg, and I think that Eve is probably a good person to look at. Maybe she can help. Let's just look at a profile here. Eve Aratakis, Executive Vice President of the Product Business Unit. So I'm sure that she can assist me in getting some glasses for Greg. So let's just give her a call, see if we can get some help up here. And we'll do this very quickly. So I make an outgoing call. Phone rings on cue. Isn't that nice? And Eve will get a call, and hopefully she's somewhere where she can respond to me, and we can resolve this.
Hello.
Hey, Eve, it's Becky. I need some help getting a particular pair of sunglasses. Is there anything that you can do to support me?
Sure, Becky. I'm on the way to the office, so once I get there, I'll check for you.
Excellent. Thanks very much. All right.
So now, when I arrive at the location or at the office, I can either set my status or have it automatically set. So if I had updated my status or had used Twitter to update my status, it could automatically, or I could have it set in terms of time of day. But as all of you know, if you have to set it each time, it's highly likely you don't set it. So I'll say that I'm available and I'm in the office, and basically to route to my office phone. But now I have some glasses for Becky, so let me give her a call and let her know.
All right, and what I can do on my end, just to get some updated information about Eve, is to actually look at her location and set what we call a tell me when. So I can actually type in, tell me when she arrives in the main office, and I can go ahead and set that. Fortunately, I know that she's already there, but this is interesting, so I have to show you anyway. So I'll get an updated information and a pop-up when Eve arrives into the office, and that gives me good information that I can share with my customers in terms of time frames that I can respond. Hey, Eve.
So, Becky, I've got your glasses.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm sure that Greg is going to be really pleased that he now has a cool pair of shades like all of you in the audience do.
Thank you.
All right, so just to wrap this up, just a couple of key points. There's an awful lot of useful information out there that you can use in your business applications. Think of all the real-time communication that's floating around out there in the Twitter sphere and how useful that can be to your company, for example, in understanding how satisfied your customers are. There's great information provided by Google Latitude and other locator-type applications. We have an automotive manufacturer who's looking to use this kind of integration in order to track shipments and then create automatic conferences and updates within their organization. And, of course, we have the additional contact information provided by LinkedIn. So we've used kind of a silly example here this morning, but I'm sure that all of you can think of real-time uses for these social networking integrations in your businesses as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Becky.
Thanks, Becky. Thanks, Eve. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. We're running a little bit late, but I think what you saw is us using the cellular network to triangulate and figure out where people are, and based on their location and the preferences that they set, that their presence information changes. And I think you can imagine a lot of applications like that. We've tried to show you a couple customer examples today. We've tried to show you that there's actually a hard dollar TCO, and we tried to show you that we're at versions 3, 4, and 5. Our customers, there's hundreds of systems, millions of users, and they're saving lots of money, and we can do it in your current environment, whether you be a Siemens customer, a Nortel customer, a Avaya customer, a Cisco customer. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay.